talking about him in a bit, but listeners, listen, join us on Facebook. Maybe you haven't seen the visuals or the videos we're talking about. Join us on LUV 99.5 FM right now and see the behavior of the Nigerian supporters and fans after that game against Ghana yesterday. But John, what can you tell us about Ghanaian supporters? Because we have some Ghanaian supporters in the stands as well. With all the stampede that took place, what do we know? Our supporters, Ghanaians, they're safe?
That every Ghanaian supporter or journalist did not, have any injury or anything from this. We are safe and we are cool. So you get full compliment of the team who came here to cover the event later this afternoon.
But have we heard from CAF yet on some actions?
I'm just thinking. I wanted to add this. I've been watching Nigerian television to try and understand what happened yesterday. This will surprise you. I know that the Moshood Abiola Stadium takes up to 60,000 supporters, but it appears that there were perhaps 60,000 more supporters outside the stadium. So it was a situation where the Ministry of Sport of Nigeria and the NFF had campaigned to get people in the stadium, but security measures, again, because the numbers there were overwhelming and they totally outnumbered the security officials. That's how come these things could happen. Because you actually said, where were the wardens standing in front of the various stands when all this happened? It was just a field day for anyone who had one or two to settle with the NFF or the Nigeria Football Association.
But my question actually, have we heard from CAF any sanctions, any investigations, any reports being made available? What is happening? Hello, George. Can you hear me? All right. So I was saying, George, that what do we know so far from CAF? Have they asked for an inquiry on investigations? Has any report been made available for them? I mean, what is happening in that space?
You're talking about. Are you talking about CAF? Are you talking about CAF? What CAF is doing about?
Yes, based on what has happened, the behavior of the fans.
All right. So we haven't heard officially from the Confederation of African Football, but I think they will definitely issue a statement to this. Nigeria may be losing the opportunity or may not have the opportunity to host some games back at home. And because in all of this, Nigerians have told us that Abuja is the safest place when it comes to fan notoriety. So this is the best we could have probably got. Why? Because Abuja is an industrial town and the people here are here to work. They don't have time for football like this. I understand that there were a lot of buses to get people from other states to bring them into FCT. That's how they call it, the Federal Capital State. Yes, but then if this is the best they can offer, you can imagine if this game was in Lagos, and you can imagine if the Black Stars won it. I think the Confederation of African Football is going to step into this, and we're going to hear from them shortly. We'll be keeping close tabs on that, and we can tell you. But of course, the Nigerian authorities have totally said they're not happy with everything they've seen. They have expressed their disgust at what the fans did, and the fact that a life could be lost because Nigeria, Ghana couldn't make it to the World Cup.
So, listeners, we want you to appreciate what we're talking about. So, join us on Facebook, LUV 99.5, and see the visual, see the video, see the behavior of the Nigerian fans after the game. It will shock you. So just get onto Facebook, LUV 99.5 FM, and see things for yourself. Tell us about, our journey from the hotel to the stadium itself. Here in Kumasi, we had the Nigerians complain that it was quite intimidating, especially when they got to the stadium where supporters were banging on their bus and all that. How intimidating was it for the Black Stars team itself making it to the Moshood Abiola Sports Stadium?
Yeah, I was part of Black Stars entourage, so I was sandwiched by two V8s. Yeah, so I had every view of it. Look, it was It was friendly to hotel. When we started the journey, there was I got my food, none of us go. And then when we got in around the stadium, I'd say that the security did their job, but it was only the Black Stars pass that was allowed to go into the stadium. So the rest of us had to come out and go to our designated gates. There was no gates or no entrance for media because that entrance for media had been taken over by fans. Everywhere you went around the stadium, it would take every journalist about 1 hour, the minimum, to get into the stadium. And it's because the fans were pushing, breaking things, rushing in. So even before the game started, if the security were looking at this, they knew that they were already in a big trouble and that they couldn't handle the fans if anything went south. Everything around the stadium, it was human beings upon human beings, and there was no okay. This is a media stand. You go here. Even the VIP was a bit. Even the VIP, because I remember there's one popular, a governor. I've forgotten the name. There's one popular governor who came, and he had to go through the fans as well. He was standing right in front of me. The only thing they did for him was that the security held him and carried him over. They carried him over the fence into, and I'm like, wow, this is VIP. I told the multimedia guys in there that we have to rush in. So we also went in pushing, having to do everything to get in. And then when we got into the media tribune, forget it. There was nothing. There was nowhere you could go because the media tribune had also been made a place for VIP fans, and it was absolutely chaotic. So we could have only prayed and hoped that nothing went wrong. But indeed, something went wrong. And it means that generally when Africans want to watch football we need to understand that we have to make them comfortable. That's what we haven't done over the years. We haven't done over the years. We had a bit of it, at the Bavaria Sports Stadium, yes. And what we saw at the Moshood Abiola Stadium was steps up. Really, really sad situation, and it's difficult for everybody.
We just hope and pray that we'll learn from this going forward. We hope and pray that we'll learn from this going forward, and then the right measures we put in place. But what does this victory mean to the Black Stars? I mean, after the game, what was the euphoria like? What was the feeling like? What have they been talking about? Especially where we hear that the coach is giving thanks to players, past coaches, and fans from Kumasi. Tell us a bit about the mood in camp after the game.
Well, I think it was pretty straightforward for most of the players. Look, they said, we're happy we've accomplished this. I got a sense that one or two of them understand how huge the win was, that they played against Nigeria, that they played against the 60,000 Moshood Abiola Stadium that was absolutely hostile to them, that they played against a referee who wasn't quite friendly. And they didn't really understand what they had done for Ghanaians. But, they were calm, cool, collected. I met them in as they were having their supper ready to go for their flights and come back to Ghana. Coach Addo, I had a privilege of speaking to him right after it. He said he was very happy with this result, and he was very grateful to everybody who had started it. He made particular mention of the entire World Cup qualifying process, which started with Coach Siki Akpono. It also had Biloban Rivach, and he mentioned all the players who were not there. I didn't know he was such a great man to give votes of thanks, but he managed to touch everywhere. He spoke nicely. We've seen the team in jubilant mood. They were dancing, they were singing, they were doing all they would do in their past. They continued when they got to Ghana, out from the Africa World Airlines. You saw them holding their champagne and Thomas Partey starting the whole party after party. So they're very excited, but I know quietly there are a few improvements, and I'm sure you guys have discussed all of that there.
So personally, as George Addo Jr., sports journalist, what are your expectations between now and November when the World Cup begins? What do you hope to see happen to the Black Stars, from the technical team to the playing body? What would you love to see happen?
Well, I didn't hear the question. I'm trying to get it, but
okay, so let me take it again. I'm saying that you, as George, a sports journalist, what do you expect to happen between now and November when the World Cup commences? From the technical side as well as the playing side, what are your expectations?
Yeah, I think one, I expect that the technical team, there will be more clarity on what the technical team is going to do, because we know that there have been reports that Chris Hughting was going to be appointed and all of that. So the FA first of all must make sure that it's all up there in terms of making it very clear who is doing what. That's very important. The technical team that handled these two players have worked together as a team, And I think it's only the expectation of Ghanaians that they'll continue the job. And if there's any need to expand. So I hope that there's clarity on that one. The next thing is that we need to go in for the best talents around the world as much as possible. And I understand that people have helped us qualify, but we need another great team that can go to the World Cup and perform. It's not about going there and making the numbers. So if you have players who can come in and make it work out, let the competition for places give us the best 23 or the best 25 who can represent us at the World Cup. I think at the back, especially centre back, and Daniel Amati and Alexander Jiku, it's definitely a rock on which we can build on. Joe Wallace has proven that he is almost like a starter for the Black Stars. We will look at the left back and right back positions as we go into it. But I expect more organization in midfield and in attack. We need to find more goals. Afenajan is there, but we have not quite found the machinery and the kind of structure to ensure that we can form goals. Our team at the moment is lacking goals, and that's what we need to work on, plus proper organization in midfield. And looking at how very much improving that. These are the things I want to see. Plus, we have to make full advantage or take full advantage of the period from now until the World Cup and use the FIFA friendly dates wisely. Use the FIFA friendly days wisely, because we have been culpable for misusing FIFA friendly dates when we are calling players just because we want them to get a chance to go to a club somewhere. We cannot waste any FIFA friendly date, and every FIFA friendly date from now must be geared towards the World Cup. Players who have been called, form a nucleus. Let's build on what we have. And if we're able to do that, we will go to the World Cup and give ourselves a very good shot like we did in 2010.
George Addo Jr., thank you very much, sir, for your time. We appreciate it. And I thank God for your life and for that of the players and everybody who took a trip to Nigeria yesterday. Thank you very much for your time with us this morning. We're grateful. So that was George Addo Jr., the chaotic man. He joined us on Love in the Morning. Delali, so you watched the game yourself. I know that, have you?